Migingo Island. Sounds idyllic, doesn't it? A place to escape, to find peace and quiet. But this tiny rock in Lake Victoria is anything but. It's considered the most densely populated island on Earth. Imagine squeezing 500 people onto an area the size of half a football pitch. The island is a jumble of corrugated iron shacks, crammed together with barely room to walk. There are no roads, no cars, just narrow alleyways. The air is thick with the smells of fish, sweat, and smoke. It's a chaotic, vibrant, and challenging place to live. The people of Migingo are a mix of Kenyan and Ugandan, united by their dependence on the lake. Life on Migingo is tough. The island is a microcosm of human existence where the struggle for survival is played out daily. The days start early. Fishermen head out onto the lake before dawn, hoping for a good catch. Their boats, often little more than wooden canoes, are laden with nets and the hope of a prosperous day. Back on the island, life goes on. Women tend to their children, cook over open fires and wash clothes in buckets. The air is thick with the sound of chatter, laughter, and the occasional argument. Life here is communal. People live cheek by jowl, sharing the limited resources and supporting one another through thick and thin. The lack of basic amenities is a constant challenge. Water is a precious commodity, brought in by boat from the mainland and sold at a premium. Sanitation is basic at best. Waste disposal is a major problem, and the island is plagued by flies and the stench of sewage. Despite the challenges, there is a strong sense of community on Migingo. People look out for one another, they share what they have and celebrate their successes together. There is a vibrancy here, a zest for life that is both humbling and inspiring. As if life on Migingo wasn't challenging enough, the island is at the heart of a territorial dispute between Kenya and Uganda. Both countries claim ownership of this tiny rock, and the dispute has been rumbling on for years. The waters around Migingo are rich fishing grounds, and both countries want a slice of the pie. The dispute has led to increased tensions between the two countries. At times, the situation has escalated, with both sides deploying security forces to the island. The presence of armed police and military personnel is a stark reminder of the fragility of peace. The dispute has had a significant impact on the lives of the islanders. They are caught in the middle, pawns in a geopolitical game that they have no control over. The uncertainty is taking its toll. Fishermen are afraid to venture too far from the island for fear of being arrested by the other country's forces. The dispute has also hampered efforts to improve living conditions on the island. Neither country is willing to invest in infrastructure or services for fear of legitimizing the other's claim. As a result, the islanders are left to fend for themselves, living in limbo, uncertain of their future. Section 4. Fishing for a future. Fishing is the lifeblood of Migingo. It's the reason people came here, and it's the only way for most to make a living. The waters around the island are teeming with Nile perch, a valuable export commodity. Every day, hundreds of boats head out onto the lake, casting their nets in the hope of a good catch. But the future of fishing on Lake Victoria is uncertain. Overfishing has taken its toll. Stocks of Nile perch have declined in recent years, and there are concerns that the lake is being exploited unsustainably. This is bad news for the islanders, who are entirely dependent on the lake for their livelihoods. The territorial dispute is exacerbating the problem. The lack of clear regulations and enforcement has led to overfishing. Both countries are reluctant to take action for fear of jeopardizing their claim to the island. The result is a tragedy of the commons, where everyone loses out in the long run. Despite the challenges, the people of Migingo are resilient. They are finding ways to adapt to the changing circumstances. Some are diversifying their livelihoods, turning to small-scale trading or providing services to the island's residents. Others are working to improve fishing practices, using more sustainable methods to ensure the long-term health of the fishery. Section 5. Hope on the horizon? The future of Migingo Island is uncertain. The territorial dispute casts a long shadow over the islanders. Overfishing threatens their main resource. Living conditions are cramped and unsanitary, but there is hope. The people are resilient and determined. The international community is taking notice. Mediation efforts offer a glimmer of hope. Sustainable fishing practices are growing. Kenya and Uganda are protecting the lake's ecosystem. This is essential for millions relying on Lake Victoria. The challenges are significant, but the resilience of its people offers hope. With international help and sustainable practices, Migingo can become a symbol of hope.